Welcome everybody to another 1 hour Dune. I am playing Randolph here, and this is going to be a double header, so we're going to see how we go. I am playing the Harkonnens, and one of the first things I like to do when playing Harks is take a look at the Atredies objectives, and I see he has the objective I always like to see as Atredies, which is attack a Harkonnen settlement with a legion in it using a named leader to score 3 points. He also has the Sayadina, which is put Jessica in a siege where she can't be reached, and then put her in the dunk tank with the dice. That sometimes those two objectives are kind of counter useful, I guess. That's probably the wrong phrase for the Atredies, because one is a aggressive objective and the other is a passive objective. I really like having Sayadina first turn, because if you can pull it off, then you get Reverend Mother for turn 2 and every turn beyond that, and cards are great. All right, I have Evidence of Rebellion and Shigawire. So Evidence of Rebellion, place 2 legions and then draw 2 cards, 2 elites and then draw 2 cards. Shigawire, remove a leader in the same sector, or maybe it's adjacent. I think it's adjacent. All right, let's see what we roll here for dice. Got a leader, deploy, strategy. Okay, so this is a pretty average roll. The Harks in general should have about 4 attack dice, plus whatever cards they have. So, 5 between cards is about right. Atredies rolling a lot of attack dice, 3 attack dice and a Mentat. That means they'll probably drop their Bene Gesserit on deploy, I would think. Most Atredies players like to use their Bene Gesserit first turn. Oftentimes I like to hold it on until the second. We'll see what Randolph does here. Looks like he may keep it. He is taking a peek at his sieges. Probably thinking to himself, where do I want to put my Atredies death ball and which direction do I want to go? So we'll see. Also, he has, I guess, the third objective he has is the remove a deployment token from a sector that has a Harkonnen Legion there. So, we'll see what he does. That's only a 2-pointer where the other ones are 3-pointers. He's going to open with some worm sign connecting 2 sieges together. Interesting that he's not going directly for the Jessica kill, so that makes me think he's going to go pretty aggressive. I am going to plop Beast out into the North Pole, and I'm choosing the North Pole because I think it will be good for me to empty out the North Pole in case he is going to try to score that Shahuda objective there. Basically, I don't want to give him 6 points. If I can avoid it, I will give him 3 for just taking the North Pole. He has so many movement dice, though, I probably won't be able to stop that if I want. Except, to be fair, he does not actually have a deployment, so he would need to use the leader dice to place Paul, and then a Stilgar dice to attack, unless he draws something good here. He drew an Atredies card. You guys know my opinion on Atredies cards. And that looks like smugglers? Yeah, smugglers. Okay, so, he can drop Gurney right next to the North Pole and then attack it. He might be playing smugglers too early here. If he now while I'm editing this, I did not I saw that this game is about a little over an hour. So I did not edit it down. So we might have some stretches of Wombat babbling here. And I didn't rewatch this, so I don't actually remember what happened. So current Wombat will give you my opinion on things as I see them. And I think this deployment of Gurney is basically just going to encourage me to attack Gurney. So current Wombat would be attacking Gurney with a surprise attack right now. Former Wombat has a better idea, which is we're going to Shigawire and kill Gurney. All right. That's kind of fun because that does a couple of things. That uses a strategy dice, which, seems like maybe a waste because I moved to Second Legion, but I also don't know where I want to move my Second Legion to. It also neuters Gurney, so, because if I don't kill him and do 5 points of damage, which I might not do with a surprise attack, then he could just retreat and still worm sign in. So, I think that's a good use of that card. So Randolph realizes he didn't drop his deployment or his Bene Gesserit token. I'm okay with that. Um, does it change what I would have done there? I don't think so necessarily. It does give him the chance to do a deploy. And I guess technically he knows I don't have reports of traitors in my hand now that I played my only Carino card, but he's probably not thinking of that. The other thing I'm thinking about right here now is what should I do? Should I use an Ornithopter to hop in and take the siege, or should I just plow through Gurney's Legion? Or former Gurney, the artist formerly known as Gurney's Legion? I don't know. It's a good question. Still think surprise attack might have been good. Because if I surprise attack, retreat him, then, worst case he goes into a siege. I don't know. We'll see. All right, he's going to work on putting a legion together anyway. So this is an interesting move. Rather than retreating his legions into a siege, he is grouping them up in an attack posture. Current Wombat likes the idea of surprise attacking into that legion. Let's see what else he does here. He's going to group these other guys together. And then probably move one guy towards an eco station, maybe. Or maybe he uses one and takes out a harvester. Nope, that's it. I guess he just did the non-Stilgar variety. Okay, yep. Current Wombat and last month Wombat, or 2 months ago, I think at this point, agrees doing a surprise attack is a good idea here. Many of you who watch my Rebellion channel know that my Rebellion theory is number 1, subjugate rebel planets. Number 2, smoosh rebel troops. I follow the same mantra here in Dune. It is, if the rebels don't have troops, or in this case, if the terrorists don't have troops, it's tough for them to score objectives. I also didn't want them removing that deployment token either, so, it works. All right, 1, 2, beast with the surprise attack. I break a shield. Block 2. So 2, 4, 6 hits in, 1 hit back. Ouch. So if he retreats here, which I think he probably should, I think I just retreat him into the siege, is probably what I do. He can either have one elite or a regular and a leader left. I think it's probably best in that situation to leave a regular and a leader, because that gives you more movement options. I think Randolph seems to agree with that. Okay. Then, yeah, that's right. Put him in the siege. Nice job. So why put him into the siege if he can just deploy there? Because I'm not worried about him deploying there. I have enough Sardaukar where even if he pulls the double Fatakin token, I can still trounce in there. Now, Atredies player has to figure out what the right move here is. He can deploy Jessica and then Sayadina her, but it looks like he's leaning towards just building another group here. Okay, I don't have any attack cards, and I only have one Mentat dice. As a Harkonnen, I like to try to save my Mentat dice until I have Thufir. Thufir. Yep. We're going with Thufir the Roofer. Thank you to the commenter who pointed out that there's no W in Thufir, so my Thwifer reference might not be right. And also thank you to the commenter who said, you know what? Frank said there's no rule about pronouncing anything, so do whatever you want. So Thufir is going to try to come out here, but I am attacking not the siege that I'm right next to, but the siege that it looks like he's trying to group everybody up in. And my thought there is, I think my thought there is, if I attack there, I'm also sort of hedging my bets against the Sayadina objective too, because I can just walk across to spoil that objective. Interestingly, he only has one elite, so he's going to be rolling 3 dice if he doesn't discard. And I'll probably need like 4 hits, which should happen here. Yep. Say Sardaukar, just so powerful, breaking those shields. So he's dead, and then I get 2 points. And now I am adjacent to that big Atredies group if he ends up deploying in there. And I will now potentially have a better use of my Harkonnen card. Or my Mentat dice. I still may use my Mentat dice to draw Carino cards in this situation. I don't know. I like to have the option, though. I mean, the chances of pulling 2 Hawat Scheming is pretty unlikely out of 3 cards, especially since I don't have one in my hand right now. But, out of 4, I guess, because I'll draw one next turn. Let's see here. So, what do you do if you're Atredies? Sayadina doesn't look too easy. I guess he could deploy it in I guess that would be the southwest corner, northeast from our perspective up here is the good guys. Looks like that's what he's doing. Oh, maybe he's going for the North Pole. Okay. That's a big boy move. In Stilgar. So he's not interested in Sayadina, which means he probably does not have yellow objectives. I think I move back to that area where the deploy token is. I'll bet that's what I do. Yep, that is what I do. So here's the reason behind that. Like, I don't want to give up the North Pole for free. And I could either move next to the big siege or I could move next to the siege he just deployed at. And clearly he wants to do something there. So for me, I think it's worth using my potential surprise attack dice to get in there. He doesn't have another deploy. Maybe he does a surprise attack into me, but I don't think so. And it would be hard for him to just get rid of that deploy token. And also that's the only deploy token he can get rid of. If I move towards the other siege with 2 deployment tokens on there, even though there's more Atredies to smoosh, it is giving him an option to score some objectives, and if I can take sieges without letting him score, that's a double win for me. All right. Oh, interesting. He is moving on to the plateau. Don't know if I anticipated that. That's kind of tough because I don't have an extra dice to chase after him. Oh no, he is not. Interesting. What's going on here? Yeah. Okay. Do I have 2 attacks left? He could worm sign and then still get the North Pole. So I think I attack, I let him worm sign, and then I attack his Legion again if I have 2 more attacks in me. I don't know. What do you do here? We're like 17 minutes in. So if you want to comment at the at 17 minutes and let me know what you think the right move here is. I don't know what else I could be thinking about right now. I think I'm probably wanting to draw Mentat. Oh, I see. He's just deciding on using his second group of people here. See, those worm signs are awkward now because I think he wanted to get a group of 3 together. So you figure if that's the case, his elite is probably his double elite token is probably stuck up in that top left corner. I think the right move is to attack the siege. I think it's most likely a 1-point siege, but I think it's still worth it. I have 1 attack, a Mentat that I could try to draw Carino with, and a deploy. So I don't have an Ornithopter I can use to reach those guys. So I think the right move is just taking the available siege. I'm okay with that. Oh my goodness, it's a 3. I did not remember nor anticipate that. Okay, big time. Now, had he stayed, I don't think he wins that fight still. So staying, I think, just gets Stilgar killed. I don't know. I also don't see a way he easily scores the Yai Chahuda objective. Especially if he uses his leader dice here now. I think he needs to worm sign into the North Pole. Is probably what he needs to try. Because he's not able to pick up anything here. All right. Grab the eco station. Yeah, okay. Then see if these guys can move somewhere. And another Legion up top there towards the eco station. Okay, I'm okay with both of that. Let's see what objective he got. Or what eco station he got. Green. Okie dokie. I'm fine with that. So now, do I deploy or do I mentat? And I think I mentat 3. I think I mentat 3 heart cards here, probably. Although 2 months ago, Wombat really liked attacking. So maybe 2 months ago, Wombat just go ahead and draws. All right. I am going to deploy. And I'm not going to deploy. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to deploy 2 elites. Probably Yeah, not into the North Pole. Let's put him in attack distance and then draw 2 Carino cards. Yep, I like that. Ooh, and full control of the air is a good one. And so's the Captain Airsham card. Now he's going to Worm Sign, but he doesn't have any movements left, so I'm not too worried about that. And then with my final dice, I could draw 3 cards, maybe. I don't think it makes sense to play either of these cards I have. Explosive Artillery is excellent. Harkonnen Patrols are excellent. Man, I got some good cards here. Very good. All right, fast forwarding here a little bit to the end of the round. Lost 1 Harvester to a Worm. I decide to buy a Spice with my 4 available Spice and save 1. With the idea of, the thought process here for me was I only need 2 or 3 more sieges in order to pull this off. And I guess I feel like I don't need my combat cards or a full stack of 6 to get another siege this next turn, maybe. And maybe I'm not planning on winning turn 2. I lose an elite to the storms. I did lose Beast out in the open by buying an extra spice and putting Fade out on the board. The Atredies player scored no conditions or no objectives and only 1 eco station, which is good. And I drew Arsunt Legion, which is a good moving out card. I do have to worry about that Atredies Legion a little bit with Paul in it. He draws 3 kind of green-based objectives, so okay, fine. I have to decide where to put these harvesters out now, and with where the worms are, it's not totally obvious to me where these should go. I like to put harvesters out where I'm attacking, but that can be bad if there's no ornithopter available. Because then if you put the carry-all there, then the ornithopter can't go on top of it. Sometimes I like to tempt sandworms by putting harvesters out next to sandworms, because that'll use up their desert power actions. Especially if I think I'm about to win, then I really want them to spend desert actions taking things apart. Boy, I wasted an ornithopter last turn too. That's too bad. All right, my dice roll, 2 house dice, 3 attack dice. That's a little... Actually, that's probably about right, because I have 1 on ban, so that's probably right at average. You're either going to be above or below average with 7 dice. I have a lot of cards, so I'm not too worried about it. 7 dice. I could move that group out. I could upgrade them to elites, and I could attack with an ornithopter, and then I'd have 2 Sardaukar and 3 elites attacking a siege, which seems pretty powerful. So I think that's 1. And then that legion will expire after that. And then I think I play defense after that. They have 1 deploy. I don't mind if they throw a deploy on that big one. I do remind him he has a Bene Gesserit token. I have some good attack cards here. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I think I'm not winning this turn. So I think I'm just focusing on taking that 1 siege with a surprise attack and calling it good. All right, he has 2 house dice, a deploy, a mentat. He can get a lot of troops on the board this turn. So he's got to decide what to do. If I had to guess what old Wombat does, he's going to deploy. Let's see where he deploys. Out with the group or with the with the big death ball here. As Atredies, you can't lose too much momentum with your attacking group. You really sort of need to commit to it pretty early. Usually you're only going to get one major army to push with. I don't know. We'll see. I do like explosive artillery. Man, what if instead of upgrading, I just move with explosive artillery and then blow up some people? Yeah, see, he's got a big old pile out there, but that's about as far away as you can get from being directly threatening. I think he's going to have 2 total desert power actions, so because he's got 4 dice on now, and I've got 6 after this one. I'll bet I'll do explosive artillery. I can't help myself from playing this card. I love it so much. All right, Ornithopter out there. Do a surprise attack, or do a explosive artillery. Reveal the guys. Do 2 hits. That's going to leave him either with a, like an elite, or 2 troops, or a troop and a leader. I don't know. You'll notice how I'm stacking the deploy tokens, and you'll see that as a common theme. I like to put the weakest tokens at the bottom of the tree. It helps me keep track of where the double elite is. So, yeah, that's all good. I'm almost positive the double elite is in with the big death ball group up there. So how would you take the damage as Atredies here? I think you lose the leader, and I think you downgrade an elite. Gives you the most dice to roll. They could force a deploy in there. I think if they deploy, I think I upgrade. That could open me up for a surprise attack, but I also don't really mind if they're wasting their dice on that. So he loses the elite and keeps the leader. All right, that's fine. I wonder if that means that's actually like a 3 siege. I don't know what the odds are exactly or what the best way to play that is. All right, so if you're Atredies, what are you doing here? Like that's the hard part. It's not like they can deploy Paul anywhere to sacrifice him because I can reach everywhere with an Ornithopter. So that's why those cards, those Sayadina and those, Paul goes on an acid trip cards are so important to score turn 1 because they just get exponentially harder to score after that, I feel like. What do you do if you're Atredies here? Do you move into the mountains and threaten the island? Do you go for the North Pole? Do you deploy? Do you play a Fremen card? I guess you play a Fremen card. What's that do? I can't see what it is. Apparently I didn't look. It must be the one that lets you move a legion in a desert area and then take a desert power action or something, or draw a card maybe. Still suits. Oh, they're swapping siege. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're teleporting all their stuff to this new area out here. Now note, it doesn't let you move leaders. It only lets you swap deployment tokens. So by doing that, he's forfeiting his 3 nabes on the other siege. Now this is interesting. He has so much over there now, but he is also threatening the North Pole. And he does not have the attack the North Pole and get 3 points objective. And he's only going to have 3 dice he's attacking in with. I like the idea of deploying in the North Pole here. It is going to open my army up to get counterattacked. But if I put through fear and an elite, that could be good. I can't reach it to reinforce. I mean, the other thing I could do is I could attack that Atredies Legion. God, am I not going to deploy there? I think I should really be deploying there. What am I doing? Why now? Oh, I'm running with that Legion. Wombat, you crazy dude. Okay, all right, I can get behind that. So now I'm saying, okay, you keep your 3 siege up there in the desert. And now I'm going to threaten this other siege, whatever that is, right? Because if I can get another 2 siege, if I get lucky and get 2 more 2 sieges, then I'm good to go. And now I'm saying, great, you want to take the North Pole? Fine. I'm going to take this siege over here. And he does not have Paul Muad'Dib. If he did, he could place a, worm sign and then attack. So, yeah, I don't know. One of the things you can do as a Harkonnen player is not be super predictable, because that will sometimes throw Atredies off. So for example, they have 3 attack dice here. Do they attack the North Pole now before I reinforce it? I think that's what I would do. Yeah, and that's what he does. So he gets 1 of each. However, 1 of each does not get him any special leaders. And if I do a surprise attack now, either with Captain Arishem, yep. So by putting Arishem in here and then surprise attacking, I have an extra hit point, and I might have enough left over to sneak out that last siege in the bottom there. I also have Harkonnen patrols too, so yeah, I got a lot of things going for me. And I'm lucky that's a 2 siege. So I'll be rolling 5, and I cannot discard, but it is a surprise. And I should roll a total of 5 hits here. That should be, and he should roll probably 1 shield, which I'll break. So let's see. Assuming he doesn't discard, he's only got 4 cards. No, he does discard 1. Is that the voice? Yeah, the voice is a terrible card. I don't know if I discard there. I mean, maybe. The odds are definitely that I kill him on 1 turn here with a surprise attack, I think. Alright, I have a wasted thing. I break 2 shields. Yeah, if I don't have Sardaukar, I think discarding's good, but see here, I just blocked everything and then did 3, so he's dead. I mean, don't get me wrong, the voice isn't doing anything as a card, but now I'm at 8. He's got another Bene Gesserit token, and I have Harkonnen patrols, and he's got 3 empty sieges right now. Ooh, let's see what he does. And with that Ornithopter up there, I can move into the mountains and then attack next turn, maybe. That could be fun. Or I could play Harkonnen patrols, get 2 attacks off. Harkonnen patrols, it's always nice to see if they don't have Fremen cards in their hands, so you know Grandmother of Storms is not available. And obviously, if you can get it done without a worm, that's good too. I could use... Man, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. Let's just see. Just going after eco stations. Yeah, you can go after eco stations. That's okay. Maybe there's a world where I mean, imagine if I put the ornithopter somewhere else and then, I don't know. Maybe I just go for that other siege leader move. No. I mean, what if I scout a siege and then do Harkonnen patrols all around it? He can deploy those, so that's not great for me. Arsunt Legion doesn't really do me any good. Fade's not on the board, and I don't have a way of getting him on the board. So I think I just do a leader move, yep. So that saves me a surprise attack, and then I can get another group moving out too. The question is, what do I do with this group here? I mean, I could move it 2 and get it within striking distance of that last... Wow, okay. I try to break up a worm sign. All right, I'll take it. It's a little daring of a move there, sir. Also, why use a leader move for that instead of a strat move? I don't know about that. Don't know about that, Wombat. I don't hate the worm sign removal, though, because that makes his move less efficient, so he can't grab 2 eco stations. And I do want to not let him get Paul for as long as possible. Because I guess I was thinking maybe he Stilgars here and then takes 3 eco stations and then gets Paul and Reverend Mother, maybe, or at least just Paul. Maybe Paul and Reverend if he pulled the perfect combo. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. Yeah, all right, I'll take it. Maybe I'm thinking like I'm not under a huge time pressure, so I have time to disrupt his plans. That's probably what former Wombat was thinking. A softer, gentler Wombat. Playing a card for Truth Trance. Okay. So he's saying I have to play my house dice because that way he thinks that will prevent me from attacking his siege. And he's probably right because I only have the one Carino card. What's happening here? Oh, what? All right. What are we doing now? So he plays Voice from the Outer World to put Paul in that legion with a Fadekin and then go back onto the siege. All right. All right. So he does that. So that's obviously a 2-point siege that's going to win me the game, I think. And I can just use my house dice to upgrade. I think that is the right move. Or is it? I don't know. I could see a case for a couple things here. I don't know if I predicted patrols. Patrols? Really? I guess. Because then I'm like, I mean, there are 2 1-level sieges out there. And assuming they're not either of the 2 that are well defended right now, then I guess I'm thinking it's not the one he vacated, and maybe there's a 2 or a 3 next to where those sandworms are, and maybe that's what I'm going for. He's deploying out here. Okay, that's fine. Now that might be a mistake, because even if those are both 1s now... Oh, but I only have 1 attack card. What a dummy. Really? Yeah, alright. I only get 1 attack out of these 2 dudes. It should be the 1 up top, because I only have 1 guy there. Yeah, it's a 1. Alright, it was worth a try. Imagine if I had saved my Captain Airsham card. Just place Captain Air. Oh, wait, but that Legion doesn't have a Sardaukar. I don't know, because it's a Hark patrol. Or troop carriers, I guess, is another possibility, but I only have the one. All right, Sandworm is going to attack. It's going to roll 4, try to kill that troop. He'll probably do it. Be highly unlikely to miss. He is dead, just barely. It's that one. Now, what do I do here? Do I attack? Do a surprise attack? I don't think so. I don't think you try to end that. Yeah, I think I just play Sandmasters, get my Harvesters back out on the board again. So I'm trying to deploy him where I have that carry-all, but that's okay. So 3, draw a Carino card, and end a turn. He did not score any objectives again, which is nice. And yeah, it's tough. See, if you put the pressure on the Atredies, it can be very difficult for them to get cheeky and score objectives. So we're going into the third round now. If this spice harvest goes according to plan, I should be able to buy up my spice because I can't purchase any more, right? So if I do that, then I only need one more siege, and I can play super aggressive and pick any one of them. Now, to be fair, he's only got 4 sieges left, and 2 of them are heavily defended. So he could just roll some deployment and then get away with having a big fight. Like, that's totally a possibility. And those guys are going to get wormed again. All right. So there will probably be at least 3 worms here. Yeah. 1 dead, another carry-alled. Okay, so I save those 2. I get 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that's 3, 6, 9 for everything to go up. And then I save 3, but I don't have... I actually save 4, but can only save 1. All right, get my stuff back. Bans are no longer removed. And now that I'm going to come up with the coup de grace, I've got all my combat tricks available, which are nice. Sandmaster's pretty good. I could not use my last Ornithopter, but because I had Scouting Ban up. So I've wasted 2 Ornithopters so far this game. And my patrols are all dead. Yep. So patrols only got me 1 point there. I'll take it. It's okay. I'll probably drop my 2 Ornithopters in the middle. Middle and then the out by the wall. That will give me opportunities on the 2 sieges. If I put Fade in a group there, I can probably use our Sunt and that other unit to threaten the one at the bottom. Have a few tricks I can do. Again, I want to try to coax his Sandworms into eating my Harvesters this turn, I think. So I'll just leave them in a high value place. And, yep. And then let's roll 8 dice. I did draw 1 Hawat Scheme. It's not a great card in this situation, but that's okay. All right, attack, attack. There should be 4 attacks here. 3, 4. Nope, 3, just 3. Okay, that's kind of below average. So I did draw Rage, which means if I draw another Rage card, I could have a super secret Emperor attack move. And I do have some house dice to upgrade some dudes, so that feels okay. Atredies player rolls 1 of everything, basically. And no deployment does not feel great. So I think this turn, I probably need to play open with a Mentat to draw 3 cards. Maybe pull out Hawat. That would be nice. What? What? Hawat? What? What? Yeah, house dice for sure for that. I mean, game's probably... Well, maybe not. Oh yeah, he's got to reshuffle those. All right. No, those are awful. Yeah, this game feels like it's in the bag here. Just a matter of how to get this last siege. I have reports of traders too. You know, I could use a Mentat dice to just kill his house dice. I don't think he's going to use his house dice right away. But that wouldn't be a horrible play. I mean, his house dice is good for deploy, and sometimes when you're Atredies, you have to sort of anticipate them having that card. Captured Ornithopter, okay. So he's going to take my Ornithopter and then do an attack on my Legion, I think. Yep. Well, that's too bad. So if he does that, let's see what happens. I can still group those guys up with the Arsant Legion. I'm not in a huge hurry. Okay, and we're switching some semantics. So he's going to play that with the Lady Jessica ability, which is still not Reverend Mother. So he does draw an Atredies card and play that. Is he going to play Captured Ornithopter now? Yeah, Captured Ornithopter. Okay. So that's fair. So he just got an extra card out of that, which is fine. Yep. See how we do. It's only 3 dice, you know, and so that should be 1.5 hits, I think. Rounded up, say 2 would be ideal. That's what he gets. So now do I keep my Sardaukar out and get rid of a leader and a regular? Okie dokie. And I think maybe what I do here, maybe, I don't know what I do. Maybe the Arsant Legion will move an Ornithopter to... Wait a minute. What happened here? I have an extra Ornithopter on the board. I don't think I removed the central one at the end of last turn. Yep, looks like I'm cheating. All right, we're going to have to figure out what happens there. I drew 3, tried to draw Hawat, didn't draw it. Yeah, I should not have 3 Ornithopters on the board here. Sorry, Randall. I do like the Demon Ruler, though. I could plop Fade in an army and then do a move and attack. That seems pretty good. So now here you are as Atredies, and your back is kind of against the wall, and you're still trying to figure out how to score objectives. So putting some worm sign out there to discourage me from moving in is, I don't think, going to scare me off here. The real question is where, yep, okay. So 2 plus fade up there. Okay, that seems good. So now I've got 2 elites, a regular, maybe 2 regulars, and a leader, bunch of stuff. Aerasham, fade. Ooh, that's a big boy party there. Am I just going after Paul and saying forget it? I'm not afraid of your 2 deployment tokens. We still know he has a double elite somewhere on the board. Lord, what to do? All right, so he is going to use a worm to eat my guy. Okay, yep, that's fine. Go ahead, he is dead. Worm is fed. What to do here? Do I just attack? Maybe. Sometimes if you still have a Mentat dice left over and Thufir is already used and you still might want to draw a Hawat, you might want to try to play other cards without your Mentat dice to try to draw it, but that seems a little too crazy for me. And I don't have a surprise attack, which makes this a little bit harder. All right, we're doing a house dice. No, we're using the Mentat dice to play spotter control. Okay. So spotter control removes worm sign and then draws cards. So I'm trying to draw, I think I'm trying to draw rage. Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, very cool. That's the good rage too. Okay, he's going to put that back. I accept your worm sign. I wasn't actually really trying to get rid of it, I don't think. I think I was just trying to, because now I'll put an ornithopter out there, right? Why now reports of traitors? I mean, he can already surprise attack and he can already deploy. So why spend my time getting rid of that? I don't know. If I'm him, if I'm Randolph, I think I surprise attack. I'll have 5 dice, discard 1 for 6, and just take whatever I get. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe surprise attack's not the right move because you have to get objectives, right? This is the hard part with Atredies. If you don't start on like a tear, it can be hard to keep up. All right, Wombat, let's play an ornithopter where the Baron is, or where the Nay Baron is, where Fade is. What are you doing? Yeah, see, this is bad. The problem here is that ornithopter should not be on the board. Now, realistically, I could have just moved 1 space and still kind of threatened with the other ornithopter, but I guess. Are we going to walk out on that worm sign like a big boy? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, that is what we're doing. Way to go, Fade. All right. See, yeah. this creates a little bit of an issue because it forces Randall to deploy on the 1 strength siege instead of in the big group. Right now, by getting rid of the reports of traitors, he cannot do 2 deployment tokens. So I think the end result is still going to be the same. But yeah, little misplay on my part that was an accident that I'm seeing now. Because he essentially has to deploy on the siege that is now under threat by the Imperial Basin. And then when he does that, I can then do an attack here. Otherwise, I would have had to play this slightly different. I think the result still would have been the same because I could have moved 1 and then I could have done the 2 Saddam Hussein cards and then ornithoptered over next to the siege and then attacked it. So I think the result was going to be the same. And he does the correct move and surprise attacks here. Oh, no Fadekin. That's tough. Or is that 1 Fadekin? Maybe that's 1 Fadekin. All right. So I hope that makes sense. So instead of moving the basin to the erg, I would have moved them 1 step out onto the mountain instead. So I would still have 1 ornithopter in the area. So the correct move after that would have been to play Rage to bring Shotham in, and then play the second Rage card to place Shotham in the mountain, move him across the wall with the Ornithopter, and then do an attack into the open siege. So the result would have ended up being the same, but let's see how this combat goes here. All right, so I discard 1. I'm rolling 6 dice. He is 6 dice as well. Now he has 1 Fadekin, I have 2 Sardaukar, but he does have a surprise attack here, I think. Maybe it was just a regular attack. I think it's a surprise attack. So he'll break 1 of my shields. No, he'll break both of my shields. I'll do 4. And then he will do 1, 2, 3 plus 2. He'll do 5. No, I'll do 3 because he has a shield. And then 1 extra for a surprise. Yep. Okay, so I'll take 6 and he'll take 3. See, that's why a surprise is such a good thing to do if you can, especially if you have Fadekin. The defender's almost always just going to roll 2 shields and then that'll kill everything. So I take 5, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more. Eresham for 4, and a Sardaukar for 6. Nope, for 5. And then another Sardaukar for 6. Okay, just trying to get max dice out there. See what he decides to do. I guess, yeah, it really doesn't matter at this point, but. All right, and then I'm going to stay. He's going to stay. I'll discard for 6. And then he's going to discard for 6 too. Now he will win this one. I don't think there's, well, probably. He might roll bad. I need a special, he needs no specials. I lose both my shields. He blocks everything, probably. Not the best showing for Fade. Alright, so I'll take 4. He'll take 1. No, I'll take 5. And he'll take 1. Yep. Okay, so I'll have 1 regular left. and he can be retreated. Yep, and then that last ornithopter will snake the final siege, and that will be it. So this will mark the end of game 1, and right after this we play game 2. We will switch sides, and we'll see how Wombat does. So I'm going to end up with 10 points, I think, assuming I do this. Yeah, I'm going to do the Rage card anyway, just to rub salt in the wound, I guess. And then, yeah, so that works okay, because same result with the Ornithopter. And then, okay, so we did pretty good. All the objectives stayed under 3, which was pretty snazzy. So we'll see how we do when we flip sides. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.